Warner Brothers is on absolute life support right now. $70 million film with a bunch of big name actors in it. Not this bitch. I have no fucking idea who Leslie Grace is, okay? But she was going to put on that, oh my god, tacky as shit leather jacket that I'd see some whale at Walmart be wearing in the fucking winter time, okay? There's absolutely nothing that is really appealing about that picture that would make me want to watch this abomination. But the fact that Warner Brothers came out and said, was it Warner Brothers? Somebody very intimate with the project. We'll get into this in a moment, okay? Said that the film was irredeemable. They put it towards a group of people, okay? They did a test screening, as is practice in Hollywood, and found that, yeah, nobody likes this shit. It's a dumpster fire of epic proportions. Now, this could be a number of things, right? Because this is supposed to be part of the restarted DCEU kind of gimmick that they're going for, because they're on the 9th incarnation of Batman right now. I don't know if this was supposed to tie in or anything. I have no idea. I just want to laugh at this nonsense, okay? Because, okay, it's weird, right? Because Leslie Grace, you can kind of glean from it, she's the mixed race, whatever. She's half black, half white, I think. Something like that, okay? And it's supposed to be, traditionally speaking, and I think that's the role that she was supposed to play. I know at least a little bit about the background of Batman, okay? So Batgirl is supposed to be Barbara Gordon, who is the daughter of Commissioner Gordon, who in this film was going to be played by J.K. Simmons, okay? The dude who was J. Jonah Jameson, daily editor or editor-in-chief at the Daily Bugle, getting all of those names mixed up during the initial 3 Spider-Man films. So what a pedigree, what 2 great roles that this really talented actor was going to be a part of. And obviously, knowing the lineage of Batgirl, he was going to have a pretty significant role in this as well. And Brendan Fraser was going to be the villain. He was going to be playing Firefly, who I don't know that much about, and all things considered. And Michael Keaton was going to be back playing Batman, which I guess is kind of a kiss of death, because he's also going to be, well, he's apparently supposed to be in that Flash film, which could be next on the chopping block, because what do you do with that, with all of the Ezra Miller shit that is still just perpetually going on in the ether that nobody wants to address, but everybody realizes is just a powder keg of nonsense that's going on that's eventually going to blow up? And how the fuck are you going to redeem that situation? You're not going to, is the long and short of it. So this could just be, it's really tough to make heads or tails of this, okay? But the long and short of it is, everybody got paid. Warner Brothers you can't do shit with this, okay? You can't remix it in the time frame. I think, hear me out on this one, because Warner Brothers did something with this, something along these lines before with the Justice League, right? Because they had this big campaign, okay, back when the Justice League film in 2017 first came out. I think that's when it was. I don't really care. It was fucking dog shit to begin with, okay? It was supposed to be directed by Captain Slow-Mo, Rain, and Misery, Zack Snyder, okay? But he got pulled away because one of his many children committed fucking seppuku, and it was taken over by Joss Whedon, who is the polar opposite of Zack Snyder when it comes to being a director, okay? And that ended up being a complete fucking disaster. But there was always this talk of, oh, there's a Snyder cut that was out there that the world would love, and then it was 4 hours of fucking just dank, dark nonsense and 4:3 aspect ratio, because he thinks that an aspect ratio doubles as a atmospheric choice, because he's an auteur the same way that an autistic kid playing with his own fucking fecal matter on the ground is an artist. He's a complete fucking moron. So I don't know, maybe Warner Brothers is just gonna shelve this for the time being, trying to work on it, and then hopefully they're gonna try to drum up some sort of public sentiment over a couple years' time. Something like that. Maybe it has a work in with Ezra Miller that they need to cut out and figure out what the fuck they're going to do with a Flash film that costs just about twice as much as this. But let's get into the details when it comes to this, because I already laid most of the groundwork. So why are they doing this? What's the official stance on this? Because I gave you my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory when it comes to this, but here's what they're saying. $70 million Batgirl movie with trans character. Does that even matter, or is it central to that? Okay, this is Breitbart after all, so they're going to cherry pick the most salacious details. I thoroughly understand that. Canceled months before release. Irredeemable. That's what the general sentiment from the test audience was. We just don't like this. It was one of the worst performing test screenings that they've ever had, apparently. Okay, and you can tell by the questionable costuming decisions that, $70 million. When you know that most blockbusters, most big films that come out in today's day and age are about 100 and some odd million dollars. Yeah, you can see where they made the budget cuts. The Batgirl movie has been shelved with a string of sources citing poor audience reactions to test screenings from a production that featured DC's first trans character. Yay. Whatever. Leslie Grace starred as a superhero alongside Michael Keaton reprising his role of Bruce Wayne, Batman, in the Warner Brothers project. And again, how would this all work? Because you got the Batman mythos, okay, where they have their own Commissioner Gordon, they have everybody else already lined out. Then they would have had the Batgirl thing with their own cast of characters already cast, okay. Ben Affleck was going to be in, or he still is, who was previously Batman. This all gets very confusing. How can DC and Warner Brothers at large fuck this up? You have two of the most profitable, recognizable fucking comic book characters during the time when, even we're probably on a downswing, but during the time that superhero movies can literally do no wrong in the theaters and you guys continuously fuck everything up. It's amazingly impressive how inept you guys are. Okay, but yeah, Ben Affleck carrying over from the old Snyderverse stuff is supposed to be in Aquaman 2, and then Aquaman 2 has that, one turd just floating around in the ocean that they need to deal with. But again, that's a pretty easy chop apparently. Okay, her character can either have 20 minutes of screen time or it can be shelved completely, and it would pay absolutely no bearing on the script whatsoever. So maybe this film was shelved for just the sheer appeal of kind of trimming down all of the different storylines that are going on. Who knows? The film marked DC's first attempt as a transgender character with actor Ivory Aquino playing Batgirl's best friend Alyssa Yao as Breitbart. Oh, did I talk about that before? Or at least I read it or something like that. Aquino is best known as an LGBTQ activist in the series When We Rise. Again, yeah, it's probably a fucking queer activist show because I've never heard of it, nor has anybody else. And portraying trans rights activist Cecilia Chung, according to Deadline. I have no idea what the fuck that is. New York Post was first to report on the news late Tuesday night. Yeah, last night when a bunch of different stuff went down. And Vin Scully passed away. Oh, man, that sucks. One of the last good things in baseball, and it's gone. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that because there's no real room for that today. Anyways, reportedly budgeted at more than $70 million. The movie was due to be shown in cinemas and on the streaming service HBO Max later this year. It has been claimed that the film is considered irredeemable in the eyes of studio bosses, The Independent reports. Ooh, the news comes as a surprise to fans, considering Batgirl has completed production and as a series of reshoots. Yeah, UPI reports. However, it could not escape the simple fact that test audiences thought it was awful. And that's bad, because sometimes you get feedback from those test audiences and you do a couple of reshoots, you do a little bit of touch-ups here and there. But if they said that this was just a complete and total dumpster fire, and for them to sit on this, they're going to need a lot of stitching together. And that's why I think they're going to try to float it out there. Oh, you had all of those real impressive characters that were out there, and it'd be a big shame if people were started to talk about it on social media. And then we could just release it on HBO Max when there's a slump in content. That's what I think ultimately is going to happen. Production was filmed entirely in the Scottish city of Glasgow. Oi, anybody get lost? And the local council said it brought a significant economic benefit to the city. Okay, when was it filmed? I have no fucking idea. Okay, all I seen was a couple of screenshots every once in a while, and then the important announcements like, our first trans character. Yeah, but what about the plot? First trans character. Whatever. The film was based on the DC Comics character Barbara Gordon. Yeah, no, exactly. And again, these were some screenshots that were taken from the scene. That is real. Okay, and again, it's another one of those situations, right? You have this wafy girl who's going to be playing a fucking superhero, and then for all the stunts and the stunt double, you have a fucking craft services guy driving a fucking Ducati down the road. Is that what that is? Christ almighty, you take the cowl off of his head, and I would have no idea that that is a superhero movie. It could have just been, I don't know, some asshole just driving a bike in Glasgow. That's Brendan Fraser's character. That looks a little bit better, and you can touch that up with proper cinematography, and obviously that's not the most flattering or high-definition picture that's there. It doesn't look too dissimilar from Scarecrow from, what was that, in Batman Begins, right? Yes, but again, that's not exactly the best comparison, given the fact that that movie came out in 2008, I do recall. And yeah, this was filmed even within the past couple of years. Christ on ice, but still, yeah, whatever. It's DC, who the fuck knows what they're doing at this point. And yeah, fire looks impressive, but at least they're using practical fire and not fucking CGI effects, which is kind of nice. And again, there's not Leslie Grace spending more time wearing jeans and fucking, what, gold Timberlands on the fucking bike. Like, oh my lord, this was gonna suck. And then, yeah, there's J.K. Simmons just walking down, probably being a professional, and then just, yep, counting the steps that he needs to take and just knowing that this is a paycheck. I just get to cash the fucking check and I can do whatever the hell I want. Great actor. And again, now we're never going to know if he's going to flourish in this role, theoretically, right? And then, yeah, probably what everybody was waiting for, right? All the key jangling. I'm sure this would have been central to all the marketing. Ooh, look at Michael Keaton. He's going to be in this film. You remember Batman 89? Even though most of the people that would have been coming to this show probably have no idea that Batman came out before The Dark Knight. Just saying, okay? But yeah, just going back to the meat and potatoes of this. Okay, Batgirl was last on screen, and well, I guess this is going to be her only official cinematic release, because this one's being shelved, at least for the time being. The last time Batgirl was on screen was in Batman and Robin, with Mr. Freeze. Arnold. Alright, everyone, chill. A fucking movie. I've seen bits and pieces of that, probably more than any other superhero film. It sucks. It sucks to high heaven. Uma Thurman is way over the top. Arnold Schwarzenegger is just there to cash a check and have as much fun as humanly possible. And what were those reports from a few years ago that George Clooney was pretty sauced during the filming of that? And Alicia Silverstone, at least she looked hot playing the role, right? And yeah, that's who was there the last time. And then you got Leslie Grace. At least it's better than casting Leslie Jones in the role. Oh man, I didn't even know this as well, but Warner Brothers also confirmed that Scoob Holiday Haunt was also scrapped. The fuck? No more. Not a holiday Scooby-Doo movie. Oh my lord, you guys. Why won't the axings end? Spokesperson for the firm told the BBC the decision to not release Batgirl reflects our leadership's strategic shift as it relates to the DC Universe and HBO Max. What the fuck does that even mean? Leslie Grace is an incredibly talented actor, and the decision does not reflect on her performance. I gotta press X it out. Okay, I know the name Leslie Grace mostly because of this production right here. I don't know if she's talented or not, so you're asking me to just make a great leap out there. But the fact that the marketing was, oh, take a look at our casting. She's half white, half black. See, we can do that because that's what we do over here. See, and if you criticize us for anything like that, you're a bigot. But then you put it in front of the test audience, which would have been way more sympathetic than your average audience that's out there. And they're like, ooh, buddy, we cannot co-sign this. You got yourself a problem right there. But maybe there's a little bit more to this story, right? Woke scandal blows up after Warner Brothers shelves $70 million Batgirl. Minority talent are not pawns. Oh, great, wonderful, fantastic. There's going to be so much spurging out when it comes to this. A backlash is spreading like wildfire on social media, and a lot of people just laughing at it, myself included, after Warner Brothers announced it would be shelving the nearly completed Batgirl movie, a production that would have featured DC's first trans character. And again, yeah, it would have been her best friend, and then eventually they would have just fucking scissored or some shit like that, knowing them. Anyways, as part of the recent merger with Discovery, Warner Brothers announced on Tuesday that they're just putting it on the shelf, and hopefully that warehouse where that film reel is going to be stored magically burns down alongside Ezra Miller's contract. But going back to this, the decision to not release Batgirl reflects on our leadership's strategic shift. Blah, blah, blasey, blasey. The new owners and management, led by CEO David Zaslav, are committed to making DC titles big theatrical event films, and this was supposed to be designed to be released on HBO Max. I'm sure that it was probably set for a theatrical release at some point or another, But even they knew in the back of their minds, yeah, we should probably try to cut this up for HBO for some streaming content or something, because, yeah, Leslie Grace ain't that fucking talented. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that out there. I don't know, she could be the second coming, but I never heard of the bitch before. Insiders added that Studio Brass loves the film's directors and star and are actively planning to work with them soon. Similar to the release of Snyder Cut phenomenon, there it is, led to the re-release of Justice League, yeah, and a bunch of fucking moody simps just decided, oh, it's so much better. Yeah, 4 fucking hours, it better be better. Fucking dog shit director. Anyways, steady backlash has been brewing online, which has been even more amplified for the fact that Batgirl star Leslie Grace checks a big representation box as a Latinx American. Nah, I'm just kidding. She's Latina? I thought she was black. I don't know. That's the way that she fucking comes across to me. Whatever. Leslie Grace is incredible in The Heights, a movie that made $3,800. So yeah, no, exactly. Way to go. Batgirl was supposed to be her chance to become a bona fide movie star until they put it in front of a test audience and they're like, we don't want to see any more of this. At least the people that stuck around throughout the entirety of the film. WB is taking that away from us and I will not stand for it. Release the Batgirl movie. You and dozens of your friends are definitely going to get that to trend, you fucking weirdo. Dempsey Pilot. Oh, he's got a blue check mark. I'm sure this is going to be intelligent. Regardless of how you feel about the DCEU. It's impossible to even know what's a part of the DCEU, so it's really even more difficult to have an opinion on it. The cancellation of Batgirl sucks. Nah, really. Everybody just got 2 hours of their life back who are gonna, go and watch this fucking nonsense and then post hoc justify their decision. Well, at least Leslie Grace is the Latina. Was robbed of her moment. Her moment. Well, didn't she have her moment in The Heights? Oh, wait. Anyways, everyone else involved, including Adil and Bilal. Oh, those fucking losers. They worked on some cancerous Marvel property lately. Yeah, I know, exactly. It looks like they have quite a good track record forming here. Deserved better. What about Brendan Fraser and Michael Keaton and, that tranny that's real important? No? Oh, okay, cool. No, just the people that check your specific boxes. A woman of color and then 2 guys of your, I don't know, local demographic. Batgirl Cancellation really was all about David Zaslav asserting his dominance over the DC brand. I'd like to send a message back to him by saying minority talent are not pawns in your petty power plays. Alright, thanks, weirdo. Go tell that to your Tinder date tonight while he's about 10 inches down your throat. Nobody's gonna care. God, stop being so pathetic and posting. She's posted 3 different times about this fucking failed project. It sucks. The costumes look like trash. The fucking CGI's nonsense. You take a look at the back. Okay, just take a look at this picture right here. Okay, you can see her hair flapping in the wind, and then you can see the shadow on the back. Absolutely no hair. So, if they were gonna release it like that, it was probably gonna suck to begin with. And why anybody's invested in fucking modern media is way beyond me. So, you get exactly what you deserve. If it was as woke as the test audience is saying that it is, we all dodged a collective bullet, or at least missed an opportunity to make a couple of quick bucks on laughing at fucking nonsense. So ugh, God. Oh, that's Movie Bob. But I was gonna wrap up there, but I seen a Movie Bob quote, and oh boy, let's see what fat ass has to say about this. Again, maybe Batgirl sucks. Kinda doubt it. The cast is terrific, but the people behind it did great with Ms. Marvel. Oh, Lord have mercy. How can this fat sack of shit... Don't you think, okay, once you amass that much weight, don't you think that you'd be able to eventually catch somebody with decent opinions in your fucking orbit? Okay, every once in a while. Just the law of averages would have you eventually land on a correct take, but of course not. And Bad Boys 3? Lord have mercy. Let's be honest. Let's be completely honest. What the fuck were the first 2 Bad Boys to begin with? Who knows? I haven't seen it. Nobody will. And the people who did hated it. So again, the reason it might be as bad as some think isn't shocking. Warner Brothers is a dead studio that makes bad decisions. Not a dead studio. It just got purchased. And yeah, it's doing fine. They have an entire fucking roster of new films that people go and clap and say, oh, I liked it. It was fine. Yeah, I'll just go back and see Number Movie again. It'll be great. No, it's too bad. It's unlikely to generate its own Snyder Cut style release push because the hypothetical fandom is for a project like Batgirl, a woman, a younger, diverse audience tend to have hobbies Are you, oh Lord have mercy, are you retarded? Okay, again, you're probably barred from being within a couple 100 feet from any local school. You have to notify the neighbors that are in your neighborhood whenever you move to a new place. But younger women online, okay, stay online. They're addicted to social media, okay? So they would make anything fucking trend. They would be using the Batgirl hashtags. They would be posting multiple times about this fucking project, amassing hundreds. Well, we'll just cool it on the hundreds, but they would be posting things that would get dozens of likes on their posts. And no, they don't have meaningful jobs that they can't just squirrel away and sit on their phone, you retards. And hobbies? What? Painting their nails? Hawking their fucking leggings brand? Like, these bitches are fucking dense, okay? So they were aimed at that market. They're going to be tweeting about it, okay? Lives to engage with instead of harassing movie executives online. All they do is harass, you fucking retards. This was supposed to be aimed at an activist audience. Look at all the marketing that was surrounding it. Take a look at our diverse casting for Batgirl, okay? Oh, the first trans character that's going to be on screen. It was targeted at the group that is most likely to be the most vocal on social media. So again, Movie Bob, the worst takes on everything. But you didn't need me for that. I could also say that the sky is green and the sky is blue and the grass is green. Aha, gotcha. I got myself. Well, let's just play a hypothetical before we close this out. Even if this movie came out, how many other fucking superhero movies have come out this year that anybody remembers past the like a 1 week point? Okay. Doctor Strange, Thor, how many Disney Plus shows that have come out? Loki, Captain Falcon, Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, Moon Knight. Yeah, no, exactly. These all have the shelf life of about a week and a half, and then nobody fucking remembers that shit. So, yeah, Batgirl comes out. Okay, cool. That was a thing that I seen and something I'll forget within a couple of hours. Great. It wouldn't have changed the world. It wouldn't have done anything. It probably would have ended up fucking breaking even or losing money, but for the time being, it's going to stay on the shelf. It'll probably get brought back in some form or fashion, subsequently proving Movie Bob wrong, which is also a big fucking W in and of itself. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.